I'd like to call to order the North Oakland Transportation Authority. Today's meeting is here at the NODA offices. It's Thursday, June 17th, 2021. It is 4:37, 4:33. Let's pay respects to the flag. Where is it?
Right there.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I guess we're all here. Do we want to do the roll call?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Sure. Bill Dunn?
You can note it.
Oh, noted. All right, got it.
Okay, let's move on to the approval of the agenda.
Minutes.
What did you?
We're in the minutes.
Move on to the minutes.
Mr.
Don't get me out of line.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Director's report.
Our rides for May were 2,875. We're seeing our schedules starting to fill up and having waiting lists. So we're getting back to normal. We'll probably have to add another route soon. Our audit for 2020 was presented for approval tonight, and our net position increased $434,694 due to grants received and a decrease in cost due to COVID. It's a clean opinion. There's no management letter items. NODA received almost $50,000 in rental income, which is the first full year of rental income this year, and our rental agreement goes through March of 2023. We just had our planning meeting, and we've been searching for a new vehicle to purchase, and we're looking at a number of different ones. With the vehicle shortage, due to the chip shortage, it's really made it difficult. The Ram ProMaster is one that we're looking at. That's the one that WODA actually let me know that there were some available through Hoekstra. Hoekstra is our VIP fleet dealer, and they currently have 4 available. WODA's, I think, buying 6 of them right now. It's just because the only reason they have them is a contract dropped off and they didn't purchase them. So currently our normal transit wagons that we do, I know they're usually on 55,000. I just got a quote today of 65,518. It's a 40-week lead time, so I'm going to put that in for next year's budget, which would be a year from now, just to get a vehicle, which is kind of crazy. That one's going off forward. We have not purchased a Ram ProMaster in the past, but I think it's worthwhile trying. For $8,961, it's a good price. 2 other prices that we got were over $10,000 higher than that. So this is, and they're the fleet leader, the VIP. So I think that's going to be up for discussion.
So we only need one?
Well, for right now, we have one other one we got from a grant this year, and I think we're going to get 2 later this year. So I'd like to buy one at least to kind of keep our own fleet going. And then I'm going to put in for the transit to be for next year. So, my salary was up for review last month. The staff was given a 3% raise for 2021. Hopefully we can just make it till the end of the year so we can all be on schedule again. It's not just me and kind of separate it. Hi, Tom. Hi. Good. I've set up a new scheduling system for our drivers called Homebase. It's an app that drivers clock in on their phone and out. They really hate it right now. They are not liking me, but we're working through it, and hopefully it'll make scheduling a little easier. Our next board meeting is July 15th. I don't know, sometimes we cancel our July meetings. I don't know if that's something we need to do, want to do, and we can discuss that as well. Thank you.
Would there be a motion to receive and file the report?
So moved. Support by Flood.
Moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment. Any public comment? Hearing, seeing none. Move on to the financial activity. Would there be a motion to receive the financial activity report?
So moved.
Support. Moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Move on to the bills.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the bills in a total of $57,188.49.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Dunn,
Yes.
McDonald,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Brakefield,
Yes.
Flood,
Yes.
Payne,
Yes.
Barnett,
Yes.
Klein. Yes. Borjo. Ford, and Van Cortlandt.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's move on. Is there any questions on the audit that's in front of you? There be a motion to receive and file?
So moved. I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No old business? New business. Director salary review. Who'd like to start?
I got a increase last May. That was when we did kind of a reset, and I think that's why I got on my own schedule somehow, and we usually do it annually. And that's, my current compensation is $66,000, and it was just up for review in May. Just hope that we can kind of get us on track so that we're not separated.
Do we do evaluations of employees?
Not officially.
Should we? Evaluations of our full-time employees and our manager? I mean, most of the times we do.
It should be standard operating.
I think we probably should do it.
Mhm.
Maybe we could set up a committee, 2 or 3 person committee to review the manager and maybe go over any recommendations.
Sure.
Was
So,
that 66,000 with the benefit, of the medical also, or
there's
medical
health
on top of
insurance on
that?
top of that.
That's your base salary, right?
66.
Yeah.
How many hours a week?
May I ask, how many hours are you putting in? You say you have another job, you say?
About 30 hours.
And how many do you put in here?
30 hours here.
30 hours here and,
About 20.
Any comments, questions?
Well, I mean, I think that, what's the, I didn't bring the whole study. I know we have the one page. What's our overall annual budget roughly?
1.5 million.
I mean, I think at a minimum, we need to look at at a minimum, the 3% increase that was given. You know, we didn't, and I agree, we need to get these kind of on the same sync, same pattern. You know, I advocate always for paying talent, and you are a CPA? Yeah, so I mean, I can tell you, because we were looking to hire, potentially change a role in our office to be a CPA. Now, we don't require it here, I don't think, but CPAs start at 100 and up, easy, and probably 125 and up. So I'm not advocating that, and I know that's not the main role of the director to be a CPA. But I definitely think we need to look at it. And I was a little bit frustrated, I think you all recall, when we did this study, and we really just kind of set it aside and didn't take the advice. So I'd be open to hearing what my other fellow board members would, thoughts are on this.
Is it typically the 3% every year is what you
No,
typically are?
nothing's typical.
Nothing's typical.
Okay.
So what we did for some of the new board members is we hired an HR firm to sort of do a salary study for us. When did we do that?
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Is it 2?
It's hard to believe, but I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, it was in, I remember being in
before
Oregon.
COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely before COVID. And so, you know, and this is kind of a snapshot of some of their work, this page here, showing kind of like the minimum, mid, and max. And the way they got there is they looked at other transportation authorities, similar roles, and then you can see what our rates are. So the minimum, midpoint, and max on the left, and then the rates. And what we historically have done is we've looked at what is Oxford Township, Addison Township, and Orion Township doing with their employees. And if we're gonna give 2%, we'll give Illinois. We've kind of done that historically, I would say. I've been on this board for 9 years. We wanted to attract and retain our talent, and we have had some openings, and so we asked this HR firm to sort of give us a recommendation, and that's what they did. And then we kind of took a piece of it, but not all of it, and then we sort of piecemealed these pay increases over several different meetings. So I do agree, I think like when we're in the budget cycle, we should look at everybody at once. But I still think, and I think at a minimum, we should be giving the director the same that the other employees got, which ranged between 3 and 5%. With operations, didn't we the operations manager at 5%?
You decided everyone was 3% this year.
So we did okay.
I thought we gave 10%, didn't we not? No?
5 to the operations
We
manager.
gave 5 to 6.
Oh, but
Yeah.
for Lynn, we gave,
Did we increase
We
you
gave 10.
between
No.
2019 and 2020?
did we give 10?
3%? Okay.
Last, yeah.
And Mike,
So-
Mike was only went up 3%, because that was, I had suggested a 5%, but everything was brought down to 3%,
Yeah.
and then mine was put off till May.
I'm sorry, what was yours? Didn't we give you 10%?
A year ago in May? Yes, and then there was nothing, so mine was set to be reviewed in May, which was last month. It was a month,
Okay,
it
but
was a
we
year
did give
ago.
you 10% last
Yes.
year, yes, okay.
Yes.
And so my take on this all, before, in there, I know there's some new board members, so I'll restate some of the things I said. The role has changed. We've grown. We are property managers. The role has changed. You know, so I was advocating against just keeping, and not just the director. I wanted to look at all the positions and not just bracket it as, what does the clerk get in Oxford, you know, a treasury clerk in Oxford Township raise this year? Like, I wanted to look at our organization, that's why we hired the Ecto HR to do that, and say, you know, what do they recommend? That's what they do. So, I'm not saying we go to the max, but I definitely, you know, I was advocating before, like some of these positions, they're not bracketed positions at my township hall or other township halls or village halls. They're unique roles, and our organization has evolved exponentially in the 9 years I've been here. One of the areas where we really excel is in grant funding and writing grants. And I mean, that's lit. I mean, that's
Can be costly if you're contracting that out. That's a.
up to 10% on some of these grants to write the grants. So I mean, again, I know it's awkward for you, and I apologize that, you know, to be sitting here talking about wages, but it's not just like that. That's why I really don't like the idea of. That's why I wanted to really take the advice of this Ecto HR group, and we didn't, and it's been a long time now, but I do think, you know, at a minimum, we should be what we gave everybody else. And I advocate for more than that, but I don't know if I have support for that here.
Well, I see no reservations with a 5% raise, but I think we should sync up, as Lynn said, with the same term. In other words, get off the May, December merry-go-round. So I would make a motion to authorize a 5% pay increase for the managing director, and that extend until the next wage cycle for NODA. Does that sound?
When is the wage
December.
cycle?
Budget, so our budget year.
Is it
Starts in
fiscal?
January.
January, okay.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other questions? Roll call.
Dunn,
Yes.
sorry. McDonald,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Bergfield,
Yes.
Flood.
Yes.
Payne,
Yes.
Arnett,
Yes.
Klein, Bordeaux,
Yeah.
Van Fleet.
Yes.
As far as the appraisal, doing,
I just want to bring up, the government already is broadcasting that Social Security is going to go up 4.7 or, yeah.
All right.
4.7. So, and I understand that it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander, because I have people that vote no on a 3% raise for my employees because they're only getting 1.3 on Social Security. Now, all of a sudden, the tide has turned, and they're gonna get 4.7. And so we better be prepared next year that we're gonna also have to keep up with inflation. I'm just saying that that's coming, okay? Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander, you know? And so when I get objections to employees getting a higher interest, or a higher raise, I'm going to have to explain, the government has already told us what inflation is. Okay, so we'll keep monitoring, but so far they said, I think it's in August, they set the inflation rate for Social Security, so that tells us what the core inflation is. So we are going to have to get raises next year.
is there any interest in doing performance reviews on all the full-time people and the manager?
I think it should be done just because if you don't have paper written on an employee, you have nothing to go back on. You have no leg to stand on for anything that goes wrong in the future.
Dr.
So
King?
it's having paper on every employee is important. Having that history is an important piece of employment.
And if we're all in agreement with that, how are we gonna handle it? We're doing-
I think the three
Mr. Chair.
supervisors.
So I like the idea of one person, from each of the townships. It doesn't have to be a supervisor, and it doesn't have to be a township, it could be a village, but it may be a panel of 3 representing each township. And I would just say, I think we ask the director to review the full-time employees, the panel reviews the director.
I'll second that motion.
Plus, they would review the full-time employees' performance report too.
I think when they would, I think when the committee meets with the director to do her review, we would review just the reports from the director.
Sure.
And maybe receive and file them. I don't think we should do a meeting,
That
not
was just
personnel file.
well clear from that.
But just, I think, maybe the panel reviews.
Good idea.
And when do we want to do this?
I would say before, during or before the budget process, so that, we can make recommendations.
That sure puts a lot of responsibility on you to
Well,
tell
just
somebody
give her
they're not doing their
5%.
job.
She's got a raise,
Just saying.
I know you kind of said moved, I don't know if we seconded it, but what if the motion, and I'll try motion, we set a panel with 3 people, 1 from each participating township, does not have to be a township elected, so it could be, and then we would review the full-time employees and the director. What I want to do is I want to make it optional. We can sit in on the full-time employees if Lynn asks us to, but we're not, the one we have to do is Lynn's. So with an annual review of the director completed by November 1st, with the option of the director including us on the other full-time employees reviews.
You got that motion?
I have a question.
I mean, we're gonna review Lynn, but what if Lynn says,
I'm gonna
hey, would one of
second
you
it for
sit, would one of you?
Thank you for seconding.
Yeah, would one of you be willing, or 2 of you, or all of you, I'm gonna do the reviews. How many full-time employees do we have?
6.
It's not, I mean, it's not terrible, it's not totally arduous.
Sorry, both with Mike.
We're asking her for probably 1 full morning, right?
I just don't want to put it all on Lynn. I mean.
Why not?
Well,
She's got 6
I mean,
employees
if
she's
she
got
wants
to
to,
review.
That's
6
okay.
employees.
I can handle it.
I know, but I mean, if all of a
She
sudden
can
you
do that
gotta
with
say
one
something bad
time,
about
time,
somebody, then it
time.
all falls on you, where
Yeah, we can
maybe.
sit with her.
Well, it's
Yeah.
confidential anyway, if you want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that Mike and I would be reviewing the drivers,
Yeah.
and then I would review Mike. right?
Yeah.
So then you know,
And
if you
then
want to
we
be part of
review you.
Mike's review, and then you
Yeah.
review, yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
works.
Does that make
But my
sense?
question to Chris on that motion was, you said, doesn't have to be an elected official from one of the communities.
Well-
Now, aren't each outside of,
3 board members of the NODA board.
we're all elected officials?
What I really was trying to say is it doesn't have to be the supervisors.
Oh, I see. what
3
you're
board members, you know, and then.
Well, you notice I
Well,
just got.
There's
it out
only
of
one
that.
two
Oh,
supervisors
good.
here.
rest of the trustees are whatever.
Somebody originally said the supervisors, that's all I'm saying.
That was me.
You're trying to wriggle out of it.
Oh.
We got one supervisor, one president.
I've lost control.
Bill?
That's shocking.
Okay, how about this? Does anybody want to volunteer? It doesn't actually, it doesn't have to be an election. I mean, does anybody on the board want to
I'll
volunteer?
volunteer because I'm the only one that's not a supervisor or the president of the village, so.
There you go, there's one.
That's it.
I
Hold
actually
on,
have some
Lori's talking.
evaluation tools, if you want me to give you
Oh, that'd
some
be great.
evaluation
Yes.
tools to help with
Sure.
some of the
I
questions.
guess I can do it.
And what was Laura saying?
That I would be I'd be interested.
Lori?
There you go.
There's your
There you go.
So we have 3
We've got
people.
3.
Somebody
We
want to
got
make a
3?
motion to appoint them for
So
this
it's
year?
Tanya?
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
wait a
no,
minute.
I was just gonna.
She said she was gonna give tools.
I'm just gonna give
So
her
Ed,
the
Lori, and
evaluation.
That's
Bill.
awesome.
But do we have a
We have-
Victorian person?
I don't know.
Is Mike or
Does it
you?
need to be?
I don't think it needs to.
I don't need to be oriented.
I'm good with it.
You said one for Kennedy.
He said,
I thought that was your idea, and I was trying to say not supervisor. I think a
I mean,
panel.
I'm fine, if you guys need a third, I do evaluation.
It's coming back to
Well, we have 3 volunteers and 1 kind of half over here.
As elected officials, we're all on so many
And
committees.
here, okay, let me just throw one thing, we're having a discussion. I envision as we're in the budget process and discussing the budget, this panel could report back and say,
that's the one that did it.
we completed the review of the director and, you know, whatever you want to say. At a
And it's
meeting.
favorable, period.
Yeah.
You don't have to give us any other
Right.
thing.
So we're gonna hear about it anyway.
There's a motion on the floor.
Can you?
Yes, there
can
It
you
was
change your
messy,
motion
I'm gonna
to
rescind
4?
my motion,
Rescind,
Change it
you
to
rescind
4.
your
We want her on.
support?
I guess.
because we have 3 volunteers, I was making, mine was messy, now we can just
Yeah.
name the people.
But now we need it, yeah.
Right, so,
Now, should we put this on the books?
So,
Yeah, why not?
Put it on the record.
Put on. put
Make
on
it
the
as
books
part of
when
our
we do it,
policy.
A permanent
Oh, yeah, I see
policy.
what you're saying.
Oh.
Oh.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, are we gonna go through this every year?
Yeah. I
For
think it's a good idea,
good
Bill.
business practices, you should have this in
Yes.
policy.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Okay, I would make a motion that the director evaluates and annually evaluates each employee of NODA, and that 3 members of the NODA board evaluate the director and review the other employees' evaluations
By
Support.
November 1st.
by November
I
1st.
support that.
What about just full-time employees?
Just full-time.
Oh, just full-time
Yeah, because
employees.
then handles the.
I amend my support.
Okay,
okay.
So,
pretty messy.
and then we don't even need an emotion, we have the 3 volunteers, we know who you are, you guys are gonna do it.
All right.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
So who do we have?
Ed, Lori, and Bill.
That's all
Okay.
right.
Good.
Right?
Then,
No,
yes,
No.
I vote for it.
Well, she offered to give tools.
yeah, I'll
Just
give
tools.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan.
I make a motion.
I'll volunteer for something else in a different day.
Okay.
Would there be a motion to receive and file the monthly?
Wait, no, we gotta talk about
We gotta try to purchase a
The
radio.
Ram Pro
Jumped
Master.
right over the truck.
I make a motion to purchase, to approve the purchase for a Ram Pro Master for $48,961.
Oh,
Moved and supported, do you have a question?
I have a question. How many of those trucks, vans do they have?
Supposedly 4, I mean, I talked to
Why
him a
are
few
we
days
not
ago.
buying these ahead of time and storing them like the sheriff's department does? They buy a fleet,
Yeah.
so you get a better price if you say, I'm
So
gonna
in
take
the
it.
budget, I only had room for like 1 this year, although I've got extra, so I know I have extra. We definitely have 2 million cash right now.
That's what I'm saying. Why aren't we buying them in a fleet instead of one at a time and say, look, we'll take all 4 of those?
Okay, I tried to separate them out so that we have.
Well, but they can sit, they're not gonna, that's what they do over at the
Right.
county, buys
Yeah.
100 of them, and the patrol cars sit until they need one.
We definitely could probably use a couple, I would say.
I mean, and
for
if somebody
sure.
gets in an accident, then you
Right.
have another one
Right.
to pull right out and get on the road.
I don't have history with the Ram, so I wasn't sure exactly, but I'm sure it's fine. I mean, I know that,
They rust.
do they?
Oh,
Okay.
of course.
I'm sure they're history. I know they're not as.
Well, we get more
as
miles on them
transit,
before they rust.
But,
Yes, Mike, thank you
Yeah.
for raising your hand.
Lynn, would you recommend doing two vans?
I think
mean,
two would be
as
good.
director, do you
Yes,
have
I would say
objections?
two.
She
Okay,
can get a lower price.
I rescind my motion.
Okay.
She can get a
No.
fleet price, you know, with a
But
better
this is their,
price.
this is
I
their fleet
support it.
price.
I
They
rescind my
actually-
support.
Okay, that motion's
Now,
out.
somebody's gotta make a motion for
We need
two.
to
on
add, we
that.
need to include make a budget adjustment, because we only budgeted for one, if the
Yeah.
new motion.
Well,
So we're not-
She'll
we
do
don't have to
budget
pay for
adjustment
it right
next
now,
year,
right?
or next
We'll
month.
do that next meeting.
next
I'll make a
meeting.
budget.
Okay.
Okay.
They'll knock off 1,000.
How many we buy it, one or two?
I bet you they would.
Two?
Two.
Well, we have to.
Somebody's gotta make the motion. I can't make it, I already made one.
Well, I'll make a motion that we buy two of the vans and let Lynn see what she can negotiate, but even at that price, we should have some backup vans.
You should say at a price not to exceed 48,961,
Okay.
at least over the ceiling.
That will
Per
work.
unit. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Okay, now they're all settled.
Second.
Thank you, Margie.
There we go.
Roll call.
All right. Dunn,
Yes.
McDonald?
Yes.
Pearson?
Yes.
Wakefield?
Yes.
Flood?
Yes.
Payne?
Yes.
Barnett?
Yes,
oh,
yes,
sorry. Klein?
Yes.
Borjo?
Yes.
Van Portly?
Public
Oh, yeah,
comment.
Whipple.
We got the perfect place, you can sit it
Oh, no.
right inside.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get
Yeah, did they-
Public
I
comment.
don't think my name was on it.
No, I don't
No
think
public
so.
comment?
Oh,
Because you
sorry.
came late.
Sorry.
We move on to, will there be a motion to receive and file the monthly rider and mileage report?
Mr. Supervisor, I move to receive and file the monthly rider and mileage report.
Mr. Chair.
Second.
What did I say, Mr. Supervisor?
You did.
Mr. Former Supervisor.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Former Supervisor.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I've lost complete control. of this meeting.
It's like being a president once you were the president.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
it's
going
not
out of
order.
Not now. Mr. Supervisor. Board member comments, starting down with Ed.
No comments.
No, I'm good, I'm just saying, like, I think you should start buying these a little bit ahead, and we got the perfect indoor storage.
Yep.
They're not rusting, you have them. Someday you're gonna have some vans totaled by somebody rear-ending you or whatever, you can pull another one right out, put the stickers on it, and it's up and going, you know? I mean, it's just thinking ahead, you know, that's all. But that's all I have to say.
Good job, Lynn.
Oh,
Thank you. And thank you, the rest of the organization as well. They're doing a good job.
Thank you.
All right, good news for both gentlemen that sit there, and especially when you got that 40-week waiting time period.
Oh, it's
It's ridiculous, so
Yeah.
thanks for a good job.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do Ken Van Portley before I forget him up there on the screen. We have Laura.
Sitting in on Zoom, I could not hear certain portions, but I'm glad that this field is soon. And I really enjoyed the presentation of the 196 authority. I think we should be
Good, Laura.
Yeah, I agree with purchasing more vehicles, especially at this time. It's very difficult to get a hold of vehicles. So we definitely should get the two. If maybe look into something such as rust proofing in the negotiations, looking at with a value off, a little something else to help it remain, knowing that there's can be some issues with the Dodge in that way. I also agree in looking into the 196, and doing a great job. Thank you.
I have no comments. Chris?
Even though the meeting was long today, I really appreciate the workshop. I think, you know, I know we tease sometimes we like get these meetings done in like 5 minutes, but I think it really is important once in a while to kind of pause and have more of a free-flowing discussion. These are really important topics we're talking about. Thank you, Lynn, for bringing them to our attention. You know, if we sit still, you know, sitting still for me is not an option. I think we really need to stay proactive on some of these topics that could wipe us out at some point. So thank you for that. And I think this, you know, maybe when we get closer to the budget season, maybe we do another one, or if we need to take action on some of these ideas, I'm open to that, even though it does take some of our time. And then I would just ask, I would love, we did not cancel the July meeting. I know we sometimes have, and that's fine. That might be a 5-minute. But I would recommend that we go fully live. I know these hybrid meetings are challenging. The governor today announced that the state's totally reopening on the 22nd. So I think in another month from now, it'd be nice just to not have to go through the back and forth that's challenging. So those are my thoughts. Thank you.
I'm just excited we're back in person. It's really nice, it feels normal.
Congratulations, guys.
And to see faces.
I know, like I feel all giggly today and all chatty.
I want to thank Lynn for a nice clean audit report. Very good, good job. And to, oh, I had something in my head. It just flew
To
right
the
out.
chairman, for the wonderful job. Thank you.
That wasn't it. Yeah, I lost it, apparently. I am grateful that we had the workshop as well. I think these were really good conversations that we had. And I would like to know, like, when is the 196 going to show up on an agenda? And are we going to, are we going to discuss it in real life? You know, because.
That sounds like a subcommittee.
That's
Like
a subcommittee.
maybe the township supervisors should sit down and figure out the condition.
Fucking work for me.
Well, no, because honestly, the
Well,
township.
because that's
the
their
township-
agree.
forte.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We really need to figure it out. I mean, we don't need to figure out this month, but like, we
Right.
need to.
No, but I don't want it to just drop. I don't want to lose
Agreed.
this
Agreed.
thread. I
Totally.
want us to continue, I want us to push and explore this. I know what the thing I was going to say, and it's along the lines of what you said. If we're not moving, if we're sitting still, guess what? Change is still going to happen. It's going to happen all around us, and we've got to be ready on the forefront with all our ducks in a row. So I just think, it behooves us to check all this stuff out.
Would there be a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported, all in favor, signify by
I think-
saying aye.
I think that's a record. That's the longest meeting ever.
Wow.
That's one.
At 5:04.